Beautiful family, how are you? Back at it, y'all. Back at it. Yesterday I took a break. My body was feeling weak and sore. Plus, I didn't get enough sleep. So I'm back at it today. Feeling wonderful, thank God. And today's thoughts are in reference to self-love, right? Everybody's running around here talking about self-love. And from the perspective that everybody's talking about it in, I think it's shallow. It should go a little deeper, right? Well, maybe I shouldn't use the word shallow. That might be unfair. People are realizing that they need time for themselves, women especially, because we dedicate so much of ourselves to everybody else and everything else except ourselves, right? For the most part. And so we've come to the realization that if we don't care for us first, we can't care for anybody else, right? And that's a beautiful thing. So don't think that I'm knocking that. But it goes a little deeper. Self-love, self-care goes a little deeper than a mani, a pedi, and a massage. Going to get our hair done, getting our makeup done. Self-care needs to be a little more internal, spiritual, right? Because we have to connect to the higher power to get our strength, right? And get ourselves in order in every other way. And it trickles down from heaven on down into us, and then all the other things that we have to do. It's a trickling down effect. So when we get our connection with the Father, that helps keep us on top, right? And as well as taking care of these temples. All right, I'm going to put myself on blast. About to put myself on blast. Now, I'm real big on saying I don't have self-esteem issues, right? Because I really don't. When you're growing up, you do, because your body is developing. Mine developed very slowly, right? So in this area, I didn't have very much. So in comparison to other young ladies at that time, I was like, why am I lacking right there? Why everybody else got something except for me? And then I had these old big old feet. So those were two things that I complained about, about my body, right? As a young person. But as I grew up, stuff developed. I had babies, you know. I got a bountiful amount of that now. But as a mature woman, what I've come to realize is that however God made me, I'm satisfied with it, right? So there was never a self-esteem issue in that area. So back to the self-care topic. But when I think about self-care, I'm lacking greatly because I've been overweight for the majority of my adult life. Off and on, losing, gaining. Always been a struggle for me. And as far as self-care goes, this temple is broken down by the things that we do to it. So to go and get my nails done, my eyelashes done, my feet done, it's not helpful to my overall being, the body. So this is the part of self-care that I wanted to chit-chat with you guys about. I have not been doing my part. I'm lacking greatly in that area, right? And I have these bursts of times where I'll go out and I'll do my stuff and then I'll fall off. And I'll do my stuff and I'll fall off. I have the idea in my head that I ought to take care of my temple. I know what's right and I know what's wrong, but it's a struggle for me. It is a struggle, right? And not so much the exercise part, because I can get up and go for a walk. I just love being in nature. I love the trees, the sky, the birds, the crickets, the cicadas, whatever it is that's making these sounds. I love to hear it all. I love looking up at the beautiful, look at the sky, look at it. I love it. These things make me high, right? But when it comes to putting certain things in my mouth, and I love it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I love it all. Me loves to eat, right? And so this is my drawback as far as taking care of my temple. The self-love that I ought to have is maintaining this machine called my body. And so I know I don't like pain. I don't want to be sick. But yet the compulsion to eating the things that I grew up eating and loving it's hard for me to break free from. And so I wanted to do this video today because I know there are a lot of us who are struggling with the same things. I see the meals y'all be putting up online. Y'all be whipping it up. Eating all this pork and ribs and barbecuing it and all this stuff. Stuff that we should not be putting in our bodies. We do it. And then we talk about self-care. Can't put that together if you're not putting in good things to keep this machine in proper order. If you're not taking care of it by working out, you know, the muscles, getting that circulation going, that heart rate up, that pressure down. We're not really practicing self-care if we're not taking care of our bodies, family, my sisters. And a lot of us are overweight. And you know, when I think about it, when I think about the things that we go through as women, we carry the baggage of our trials and abuse on our bodies. The weight is telling a story, right? As well as letting us know that the things that are heavy on our heart becomes weight on our bodies. It's crazy how I put that together. It's like it's showing you that something has gone wrong somewhere and it has never been fixed. And poor habits play a big part. Just like the traditions that we grew up in with the holidays and stuff. That was easy for me to put down. So easy for me to stop doing. I'm like, oh, this is against God. Let me stop doing this. That was like outside of my taste buds and my strong love for something. That wasn't a strong love or desire for me to do. So it was easier to put it down, right? Y'all got my drift? I probably kind of explained that kind of crazy, but y'all got my drift. Food, on the other hand, we must eat to live, right? Those taste buds that we have trained to love sugar and to love salt, they are addicting, right? It's the same as crack and cocaine. The only difference is we need to eat, right? And so you're accustomed to your food tasting a certain way. We are not accustomed to bland food, black folk. These Israelite folk, we love our food to be seasoned. And it could be seasoned without so much salt and sugar. There's other things we can use, herbs and stuff like that, right? And so we grew up with our stuff tasting delectable. And we made traditions of getting together, eating these delectable foods. You don't go to somebody's house during a holiday and not have these delectable treats. They are part of the whole process, right? And so we crave these things. We long for them. We look forward to them. And they don't care for our bodies. These are not the proper things that we need to be putting in our bodies to maintain them. Most of us are sick and overweight. Black women. It's the truth. We're sick and overweight. And we need to do something about it. So before we run around talk about self-care, we need to do a little self-introspection and look at what we're doing to our bodies. Go look at yourself in the mirror naked. Don't hate yourself, but look at yourself. Be honest with yourself and know that you're far from seeing that skeleton. That skeleton is deep down in there under a lot of cushion. My skeleton is hiding under a lot of cushion. And honey, it is so important for your waistline to be trim. Gut health is so important. I'm really looking at that a lot. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. The larger your stomach is, the more unhealthy you are. It is important to get that stomach flat. And I'm not talking about surgery. I'm talking about hard work. It took us a lot of years to ruin our bodies. So it's going to take a little time to repair them. But we're worth it, you know. And so this is the epitome of self-love. Taking care of the temple, family. And don't get too upset about the pounds not coming off fast enough. Just keep doing the work. Just keep doing the work and don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Your family loves you and needs you. We are integral parts of our family. We take care of everything in our families. You know, we are the builders of our home and the nurturers of our children. And our families need us. But don't forget, you need you. And you need you to be tip-top shape. And so I do this every day. I just started, first of all, I started out getting up, praying, studying my word, drinking water, and stretching. I made that my morning ritual for some time now. So then I'm like, okay, you need to get out and do a little more. You need a little more something to be out of breath. Get that heart rate up and dedicate yourself to doing it. And as of right now, I'm not working. So this is my job, to take care of this body of mine. And I know everybody doesn't have that opportunity. I'm blessed to have a husband who can take care of me, which I did not have for many, many years. Okay? So I know what it's like to be the head of your house, taking care of your children, going to work, having to run the household, maintain your children, and really not have too much time for yourself. I mean, we can make it work, because I have had that happen when I had the kids. I made time for myself, especially as they got older. And when they were younger, I ran around with them. Around the time they were young, I was still looking good anyway, so I wasn't having a problem with my weight back then. But we have to make time for what's important, and you are important, because without you, everything falls apart. You know, so self-care has everything to do with taking care of your body and your mind. Let's not forget that. Ladies, we ought to stop allowing people and things to overtake our thinking. Keep your thoughts pure. Keep your thoughts on things that are positive. Don't waste a lot of time thinking about negative things. It affects us overall. The mental. Keep your mental up there. Don't let people discourage you. Stop looking at what people are doing. Get off of social media. Stressful. Stop allowing people who gossip to come into your life. Stop letting negative men bring you down. Build yourself up mentally. And then you'll be able to think clearly, and you'll say to yourself, you know what? I need to take better care of myself. Literally. Stop shaking salt on everything. Stop piling sugar on everything. It's hard, because I'm struggling with it again. And I thought I was over it. You know, you could get cocky. I got kind of cocky because last year, well, a little more than a year ago, I decided to stop eating meat, even fish, because the waters are polluted, right? I stopped eating fish, breads, pasta. I cut out a lot, and I did it quickly. And maybe it was too much. Maybe I didn't have any balance with it. But I thought I could keep it up forever. I'm telling you, my mind was there. I was like, I got this. This is my lifetime commitment. Well, after my baby got into his accident last year, like I told you guys before, I'm not a crier. I don't sit around, grumping and complaining about life. I just do what I have to do, and I deal with situations on my knees praying. But there's a part of me that take care of her problems by stuffing her mouth. And so I began to start eating the foods that I stopped eating. And it's crazy. Even the foods that has bad ingredients in it. Yes, I have to confess that. And I did already in another video. But I'm just showing you, we can't run around bragging about I'm into self-love, self-care, when we are destroying this very temple. This thing right here. See this? You can't say you love yourself when you're destroying it. And there's many ways to destroy your temple. Bad eating, bad habits, not sleeping, not getting fresh air, drinking, smoking, having sex with many partners. All of these things are ways to destroy your temple, ladies. And a lot of the things that we do, they make you feel good for the moment. But overall, It's going to show itself rather, in our bodies, in our faces. Our eyes are not going to be healthy looking. Our skin is going to look bad. We're going to gain weight. We're going to look older than we are. And we like to say black don't crack, but yes, it does. Especially if you're not doing right by it. Yeah, these bodies can crack, honey. You'll be experiencing pain in certain areas of your body. If we're not taking care of ourselves overall, it's going to show. It will show, family. So let's just dedicate something better and different to ourselves this time. Dedicate to yourself that you're going to do better for you. And not just for a time, but for the rest of our lives. It's not going to be easy, but it's best that we do something than do nothing. Self-care is not just getting all cute. Self-care is taking care of the temple. Peace, love, and blessings, family.